Welcome back again to our weekly top-down analysis where we'll mark out the smart money key levels, expecting price to get to those areas, probably kind of respect them, react from them, break those levels, and this is what you should be expecting this week. Now, this is on XAUSD, and I'll be taking you guys on XAUSD gold and as well as GBP JPY, two major pairs. So now on gold, this is our weekly time frame, and the overall trend of gold is bullish from what we can see on our screen. You can see it's very much bullish. Now we have a breaker structure to the upside, so we're going to mark out these areas very quickly so that we can push to the next time frame. So this is what we have here, a breaker structure, and below it we have an order block that we should be expecting price to react to. So I see price coming back to this order block. It might not be immediately, it might take a week or thereabout, but this is what you should be expecting this week. This is what you should be expecting this week. So price can only do two things here. Price being at this point can retrace back to this key level, this order block, and respect it or break it. Another thing price can do is getting to this swing high and breaking above it, now giving us opportunity to mark out new zones, new key levels that price might just also react to. So this is what we have on a weekly time frame. So we scale down to the daily time frame so that we can be swift on this. Now this is on the daily time frame. So from what we can see on our screen, the breaker structure is still very much valid. So we just refine it a bit, and then this level we marked out, we can just also refine it a bit. So we can quickly look at the relevant areas right now. So what do we have here? So this is what gold is currently doing. So we have some levels we need to mark out here. So from what I can see on my screen, there's a tiny breaker structure already forming out here. Okay, these areas are very important. Very, very important. So this is a tiny, very tiny breaker structure, a very tiny one, but then it has formed out already. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm trying to say. You can see there's a very tiny breaker structure. It has broken structure already here. And then over here, we also have an order block that has been mitigated. This order block has been mitigated already. It has been mitigated. You can see price already tapped into it. So two things are involved there, guys. Now, the overall trend of gold is bullish, and this breaker structure is an indication that price keeps going bullish. All right. So that's just this breaker structure tells us. Now, price can just keep pushing to the upside and clear this high. You can see this swing high. Price can just keep pushing to the upside and clear this high. So price can as well majorly is bullish. So that's only what we're expecting right now. Price sweeping this high. So let's just mark this zone out. So this is a high we're expecting price to get to. So price can get to that level, react from it, or kind of break above it. So this is what we should be expecting this week on GBP, on XAUSD rather. So we scale down to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if the zones we just marked out on the levels can be respected by price. So we're paying attention to the most relevant area. So what can we see on our screen? Guys, this level has been respected, so we just refine this. I'm talking about this level, this order block that were marked out on the daily time frame. It has been respected already. Price tapped into it and gave us this massive push to the upside. So the most relevant area, like I said, is what we're paying attention to. So everything is still under control, everything is intact. So the only thing I can see on my screen right now on the 4-hour time frame is another breaker structure to the upside, indicating price, that price is still very much bullish. So this is a breaker structure, internal breaker structure. Why this other breaker structure is still very much valid. So we just refine it. This breaker structure is still very much valid. So price is still very much bullish, and I see that price will keep pushing to the upside here. So over here, we just wait for price to do one thing. We wait for price to either reverse back to where I'm seeing right now that we have an order block, and maybe price can still respect it. Okay, So let me just quickly mark it out. So this is an order block we have here. There's an order block to the upside that we have here. So it has not been mitigated by price. So we have this breaker structure, internal breaker structure that we discovered on the 4-hour time frame. I'm talking about this breaker structure, all right, on the 4-hour time frame. We also have this one, a kind of major breaker structure indicating that price is still very much bullish. But then we have this order block. So I see price retracement back into this order block, giving us an opportunity to keep going long should we take any trade from here. So this is what we should be expecting. A retracement to give us opportunity to keep going long, or price will keep just breaking new highs and forming out other key levels. So this is what we should be expecting to happen this week. So we scale down to the 1-hour time frame. Let's see if we have some other key levels we can mark out that price could possibly react from, respect, or break out from this week. Now this area we've marked out, we have to refine the areas. Now this one is still very much valid, but then we'll refine it. This order block, I'm talking about this order block, is still very much valid. So we can expect price to react to it as well. Price can as well drop. Let's just extend it a bit more because it's very, very much valid. So we extend it to the relevant area that price is already reacting to. So two things can happen here. Like I said on the 4-hour time frame, it can drop up to this level, this smart money key level, where we have this order block. But then we also have another breaker structure that has formed out here. So we will not ignore it, we'll just mark it out as well. So there's a breaker structure to the upside. All these are indication that price is still very much bullish. So we'll mark it out, but then on the 1-hour time frame, this particular area we just marked out, this breaker structure we marked out, there is no fair value gap here, there is no order block here. So we can refer to it as a demand zone. So we can also expect price to retrace back to it, respect it, and push to the upside. But then this order block is what we should have our attention on. So it's very simple. It's very simple. This is what we should be expecting, okay? So we should be expecting maybe price dropping, okay, dropping to this order block. So this is what we should be waiting for patiently, okay, and push to the upside. So this is what we should be expecting price to do. So at this point in time, we just scale down to the 30 minutes time frame. So let's scale down to the 30 minutes time frame to see what we have. So the most relevant areas, this area we marked out, this order block, this particular order block that we marked out is very much valid. So we're not taking it off. It's still within the relevant areas. I'm talking about this order block we marked out on the 1-hour time frame. Still very much relevant. Where it is still okay. Then over here we marked out a breaker structure to the upside on the 1-hour time frame. Don't forget, guys. But here we didn't have any order block at the time. We marked out the breaker structure, no order block from that. On the 1-hour time frame, it was not clear enough. So on the 30 minutes time frame now, the internal breaker structure, like I said, is very, very much important. So we now have an order block. We now have a fair value gap we can look at. So we'll mark out the levels. We have this order block here, and I see price reacting from. So this week, you need to pay attention to these levels, guys. We need to pay attention to this level. So this is on the 30 minutes time frame. This is going to be a very good trade. It's going to be a very good trade. Break of structure. We have an order block. All right. We have a tiny fair value gap above it, and price dropping from this point to this order block. But price can as well drop to this order block, guys. Don't forget. This order block, like I said, is very, very much relevant. So price could get to this place and as well as this place. So, but we'll see what our price will respect any of both this week. So we scale down to the 15 minutes time frame to see if there's a possible point of entry, or call it interest, point of interest that we can actually take a trade from. So we'll refine these areas properly. So let's refine this break of structure a bit. Okay, and then this order block, we'll refine it a bit. So we have a fair value gap resting here. You can see there's a fair value gap resting here. Then we have our order block here. We have a break of structure here. So this is a very sweet trade to take. It's going to be a very good one to take. And why we expect price to react to this order block and probably break it, while we expect price to react from this order block, respect it and push to the upside, or break it and push to the first order block we have below, then we should also pay attention to the risk to reward we're going to get should price respect the second order block, and that is what we're about to check now. So from here, should price retrace back, we can have a kind of 1:4 risk to reward ratio thereabout. So we adjust this because price is going to sweep below. Should price get to this order block, I see price switch kind of sweeping below. So our stop loss is best being kind of below the swing low. You see this area, we have a stop loss here, kind of below this swing low, because price will not just tap into this order block. It might likely clear this low, you can tap into it. So this order block, this stop loss is very much okay. So on this trade, should we decide to go in with this trade or go in on this trade, we'll be having more like 1:4 risk to reward ratio, and it's a very good one. So I'll just take 1 or 2 pictures for my thumbnail, guys. Let me just take 1 or 2 pictures for my thumbnail. So this is what I see playing out this week. So on this one, we really need patience. We really need patience. So we'll be switching over to GBP JPY. We're done with XAUSD. So let's do that quickly. Now here on GBP JPY, okay, we need to establish the trend. Okay, we need to establish whether the market is bullish or bearish. So from what we can see on our screen, the market has been bullish, and as a matter of fact, price is currently reacting to a particular order block that I'm currently seeing. So let me just mark this out. This is on the weekly time frame on GBP JPY. Now this is a break of structure we have to the upside. Okay, you can see this clearly. It's a break of structure and an indication the price is very much bullish. But then we have an order block, a sell side order block, so to say. There is a sell side order block here. And what can you see, guys? Price is currently reacting from that very order block. Price tapped into it already. So let's properly mark it out. So this is it. So price is currently reacting from that particular order block, and I see a possible push to the downside. Okay, if price has to respect this order block this particular week, this new week, then it will keep going bearish until it gets to this point of reversal. You can see this point of reversal, but then this on the weekly time frame, we cannot work with this. This is just for us to establish the overall trend of GBP JPY. So we move over to the daily time frame. Let's see what we have. Okay, yeah. So this area we marked out on the weekly time frame, we'll just have to refine it somehow. We have to refine it. So let's look at the most relevant areas. Now we have a break of structure. Okay, we have this break of structure. So this is one break of structure we have here, and we have another break of structure to the upside. This is a bearish, break of structure. So what can we see on our screen? We're looking at the most relevant areas. Now over here, there is an order block resting here. There's an order block resting here. Price is yet to react to this particular order block. There is another one resting here. This is happening on the daily time frame, guys. There is another one resting here, okay? Here. So let me just mark that correctly. So this is the order block we have on the daily time frame. You can see what price is currently doing. It's kind of trying to retrace back into this order block. So for the swing traders and those that can hold their trade for weeks, for days, for months, okay, you can work with the daily time frame, you can work with the weekly time frame, but then this is just for us to know what is currently happening, both in internal breaker structures and trend. So we can possibly have a trade from here, but then this is a possible push to the downside to this order block and price respecting it. So we have this order block and this one on the daily time frame, and we'll push down to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if we can have new levels. Okay, so we have to first of all refine these areas we marked out, right? The order blocks are very much relevant on different time frames, but then this particular order block is still very much valid. So we have to refine it a bit. Let's refine it a bit to suit the relevant areas we're looking at. Okay, so let's check properly. Now we have to just refine it and leave it by the side so we can look at more relevant areas. Now this is what price is currently doing, and what do we have here? What do we have here on the 4-hour time frame? I can see a break of structure to the upside, and as well as I can see an order block resting around it. So let's just mark those areas out. Now this is what I'm talking about. There's a break of structure to the upside here. Okay, and there is let's refine this break of structure, because this was the break of structure we marked out on the daily time frame. There is one resting here. Okay, let's just quickly mark it out. So this order block is relevant, but it has been mitigated already by price. There's a price tapped into it. Okay, price tapped into it. Let me show you guys quickly. Price tapped into this particular order block. You can see a little tapping, and price is currently retracing back. So I see price breaking this order block. It has reacted to it, but I see it pushing to the downside, and I see it respecting more of this order block. There's a tiny order block here. Let me clear my chart. There's a tiny order block here, and there's also a break of structure to the upside. So let's just mark it out. So this is the break of structure we have here, and this particular order block is very much valid if you can see it clearly. So let's just mark it out, because I see price respecting it. So this order block is very much relevant. So if price breaks this one, here, I'm talking about this one, should price break this order block here, which I see price breaking because it has already mitigated it, it kind of tap into it. So as soon as we have this retracement fully down, breaking this other one, I see price respecting this one. This one is very much valuable. We have a little favor look up at above it, and the other block is very much valid. So guys, what do you think? This is happening on the 4-hour time frame, but then we scale down to the lower time frame, like the 1-hour time frame. Let's see if these areas will be respected or price is going to break them. So this order block we marked out is very much relevant. It's still very much valid. So while we refine this, and take it closely to, to the order block itself, I can see that this one is still very, very much valid. But then we have to refine it a bit more. I'm talking about this one. Sorry guys. I'm talking about this order block. So we just refine it a bit, but price already tapped into it. So it's really, really no more relevant because price already tapped into it. So we're going to work with it, but not as, an order block that has not been mitigated. So we'll just keep it by the corner. Yeah, price already tapped into it. So it's really, really not relevant again. So we rather look at what we have. We'll refine this particular order block. It's because this order block is still very relevant. So we'll work with this one. So we adjust it to the most relevant area that price is likely to react to. So this is where I see price, dropping. This is where I see price reacting from, because the order block is still very much valid and relevant. You can see, guys, you can see it. You can see this order block is still very relevant. Look at it. So we have to adjust it a little more to fit in properly. But then this is where I see price, respecting. So as soon as it drops fully, it kind of, retraces back fully into this order block, we can be looking at possible buy. All right, should it break it, then we should be expecting price to give us opportunity to mark out new levels this week. So these are the levels this week from the weekly to the 1-hour time frame currently that we see that we're expecting price to react from or break them. But then let's scale down to the 30 minutes time frame to see what we have there. So guys, this is how I get sniper entries whenever I do my top-down analysis. So we look at the relevant areas. Let's look at the relevant areas. Okay, over here, this breaker structure is still very much relevant. Okay, more like an overall breakup structure. So this is smart money key levels that we're marking out, guys. So this order block, we have to mark it out. So let's see what price could possibly do this week when it gets to this level. Obviously, price is already reacting to the order block, guys. And this is on the 30 minutes time frame. So let's mark it out correctly. Price is already reacting from this particular order block. And the question remains, do you see price respecting this order block? The order block is so large. It's so large. And this is the order block I'm talking about. See this red candlestick? That's the order block. You see above it, we have a little and a tiny fair value gap above it. So price is already reacting from the order block. So do you think price is going to respect it? Comment below, guys. Do you think price is going to respect it on GBP/JPY? Yeah, somehow we have somehow I see price respecting it, but I see price kind of sweeping more around this zone. You see, I see price sweeping around this zone before respecting it. I see price respecting it, but I see price dropping further and sweeping around liquidity around this zone and push to the upside. That is what I see happening. But then we can conclude. We have to scale down to the 15 minutes time frame to see if we have possible entry. Now the order block we marked out, let's refine it a bit. So we just have to look at it clearly. Okay, so this is where we have the order block. Let me show you guys quickly. You can see this green candlestick. This is the order block here, and we have a tiny breaker structure to the upside. So let's mark it out. So we have an internal breaker structure here. Let's mark it out. Okay, this is a tiny break of structure to the upside, indicating price is bullish. So yes, I see price respecting this particular order block, but not without a liquidity sweep. You see this order block I marked out? I see price respecting it. Yes, but not without a liquidity sweep. So I see a possible push to the downside, sweeping the liquidity around this order block. Now, if you look at it clearly, you will see that this area has some liquidity too, for price to sweep. You see this area? Price not only respecting this order block, but sweeping below this liquidity and respecting the same order block. So this is a kind of trade that you have to be careful about. Yes, you have to be really careful about, but definitely looking at it from the angle of a forex trader that I am, and spending time on chart as a smart money concept trader, I see it being respected. Okay, so then if this is going to be respected at the end of the day, let's see what we could possibly have. Okay, let's see what we could possibly have. So this is our point of reversal, and this is the area we should be looking at. So this is the order block, and then we have our stop loss slightly below. Our stop loss has to be below. So this is a trade of like 1 is to 2.5. It's not a bad trade. It's not really a bad trade, honestly, but let's see how it goes. So what we can have our take profit, if we want to be very ambitious, we can have our take profit to the major point of reversal. Okay, this is where we have the major point of reversal. Okay, at this top. So if we can be ambitious on this trade, we can hold this trade until it gets to this point. Let me just show you guys so you get to see this clearly. So this is where we have the point of reversal. So we can hold this trade to this point. Okay, I'm talking about this point, guys. You can see this point of reversal. So if we want to be very ambitious on this trade, we can just hold it up to that level. So, and our stop loss is going to be a bit large, but I see price respecting this order block, but with the liquidity sweep all around to the downside. So this kind of trade you have to be very careful. So this is like 1:2 risk to reward ratio. Is okay, it's a good trade, but I wouldn't jump on this trade just like that. Rather, I'll wait for price to break structure. So for us to be safe on this trade, we need to wait for price to break structure. You see this top? So let me take this off. So we'll wait for price to break structure before we can be very safe on this trade. You see this structure? We need to wait for price to break it. We can't just take this trade. We can't just take this trade. Yeah. So the moment price breaks this structure, you see, then it will give us probably an inefficiency on order block around there and giving us opportunity to go long. So we should be expecting something like this. Let's be expecting something like this. See from here, price pushes down after doing its thing below. Okay, it's gonna give us a push to the upside. Then you see this push, it's gonna give us another opportunity to tap into any possible order block and fair value gap resting around here. So we can mark out the zone, then we can take that as an opportunity, and boom. So this is what we should be expecting. This is what we should be expecting, guys. Okay. So look at this carefully, guys. So I'm gonna take a snapshot. Meanwhile, I can map this out. Let's do this. Okay. Until it gets to our point of reversal, we'll have our stop loss. We have our entry point, say around here. Any other new order block that forms out, and we'll have our stop loss below. So this is what we should be expecting to play out on this trade. Okay. So let me take a picture. So this is what I see playing out this week. I see price respecting these levels. Okay, so take a results. We've been able to analyze XAUSD and GBP/JPY. So we see whether price is going to respect these levels, break them this new week, or respect them. So take care for now. See you again in my next video, and bye for now.